All right, welcome back to the Better Days podcast, and today we'll be covering the rebrand of Cracker Barrel and how they kind of went wrong, and then we'll also be talking about some hoaxes going on at schools if you hadn't heard in the media already. But let's get on to it. So, how you been doing today?
I've been doing good. Can't complain too much. How are you doing, Roger?
Just chilling, but ready to get at these topics and see what's going on. What's the controversy?
All right. Well, let's get right into it then. I guess first off, we'll start off by showing you guys what exactly we're talking about here, because Cracker Barrel did have a rebrand, and on that rebrand list is the logo. So they took out Uncle, what's his name? Uncle Ben, I believe.
Herschel?
Or Herschel, yeah. Uncle
Wrong
Herschel.
brand.
I said Uncle Ben.
It's crazy.
Like, yeah. Uncle Herschel leaning on the barrel in his rocking, or, well, actually, that's not a rocking chair. It's just regular chair. But
Regular
in my
old
head, it's rocking chair. And from, like, the little, like, peanut shape over to this bland, like, just kind of Cracker Barrel.
Kind of looks like a belt buckle a little.
It looks like if they made Cracker Barrel like a sticker, because that's a whole lot easier to make a sticker. You just walk up, looks like something somebody would have on like a little kindergarten, like, we ate a Cracker Barrel on our field trip. They gave us little stickers. That's what it looks like. But anyways, so this logo, people get pretty mad about it just because it's like the whole Uncle Herschel deal. That's a big deal to a lot of people. Just because, I mean, it's pretty much tradition when it comes to different things like that. So, because it's been, what, 40 something years since the last time they had anything close to like a rebrand. But yeah. So the other thing that, I mean, what do you think about the whole logo change?
The logo deal is just, I know some people are calling it woke or too whatever, but to be honest with you, it's not just Cracker Barrel, but a lot of places have been either doing some form of rebrand with their logo or changing who they are, or changing what made the store feel, whatever. Even like, you look at social media, Twitter was just a place where you put out tweets and stuff, but now you find people putting up crazy content, wild form videos. YouTube used to be a platform where you drop, long form content, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Now it's all short form. Same, and TikTok was already short form, and it got even shorter somehow. So when you look at it, a lot of brands are just kind of doing whatever they can make the most profit of, while leaving the consumer into like the least, but not necessarily taking everything away from you. But you can definitely tell a lot of brands have been shifting, and I feel like this is what Cracker Barrel did.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell it's kind of taking. I look at it like this: the one on the left is more refined. Is in my opinion, it's like it. They put a lot of detail into it. They wanted to try to make it like unique. This on the right is not unique. This is like, I asked my cousin to make me a logo. Who doesn't really make logos, but he was like, hey, I got some software, I can make a logo real quick. That's what this looks like. I could have made the same thing on Microsoft Paint in about, what, maybe like 3 minutes. I'd just find some random font, put it on there, and then like the shapes, I can literally go into shapes and just get that exact shape and just extend it out and then add the trademark and I'm done.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes tops. And in a way, that's almost like how I imagine that probably happened. Is there some corporate person, hey, we need a rebrand, let's hurry up and get a rebrand, let's get a new logo, and you've got somebody who is not really probably even supposed to really be worried about that, because they're like, it's Cracker Barrel. I mean, we're interior designer stuff. I'm sure they have designers and stuff, but I don't think really anybody was too prepared for this, because I mean it's evident, because you don't go from something so refined as this on the left to this on the right. like I said before, it just looks like a sticker. But moving on, they also remodeled the insides of the buildings. So this is your traditional Cracker Barrel style. You'll see a lot of like farming equipment. You'll see a lot of older stuff, some axes. Really, in my opinion, it was just much crap thrown together. But it had the country southern like kind of roots and with it. So you had different, like some places you'll see shotguns on the walls. You'll see all kinds of stuff. That, like sometimes you'll see random stuff like skis or something. That doesn't really like fit the whole southern vibe, but it fits the vibe of like junkie collector almost. It's like stuff you would probably find in an old building from like your grandpa or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
like,
same thing.
Yeah, you just have all this junk that's just piled up and piled up. So it's supposed to give out that old, like almost like barn type feel while you're there. This is the new look. Have you seen it yet? Or is this like your first looks at it?
I've never seen it, just forgotten.
What is your immediate reaction upon that?
So, compared to this photo and that one, you're not seeing too much of a difference. I can still tell, this looks like kind of a newer design with the wooden chairs and tables, but it doesn't look like anything crazy.
Well, the wall decor is
but you got to look at the floor planning. Think about you're going to be sitting and stuff, so that doesn't look too different. As far as the walls, all they really did, majority, was just minimize what they put on the walls, so they kind of just one bigger picture.
Yeah, but that gets rid of that vibe. And if you look at the color pattern, you've got more white and more like brighter colors.
Yeah, this is looks kind of gray for some reason to me.
Well, yeah, but either way, it's brighter colors than what it was. So you're not getting that like darker style, like, because this right here to be with the tables and this light ground that's in this one here, it's got that darker southerny like barn feeling to it. Even the roof, you see how the roof is laid out, it's got that darker color. Some of them you'll have like animal heads and stuff hanging on the walls and stuff, just stuff to tell that you're in the country. This right here looks more like they went for almost like a 60s like diner type feel. You got like the pancakes or whatever this is on the wall. I can't tell what that is. And like watermelon, I think. So it's like a tennis racket, stuff like that, where it's not as a southern vibe anymore, and everything's brighter. So you're not getting that barn feel. You're feeling more of like a, I don't know, like a homey. I don't know how to feel about it because it's weird. Like, I never really walked into a place. The only thing that pops into my head because of these little like weird fence looking things and these like bright colors, I'm thinking more of a beachy type thing in my head just looking at it. Because like you said, with this color here, it's almost more like a sandish. Like, it looks like something I would see at the beach in my head. That's the kind of vibe I'm more so getting from this.
So almost like, think about the how Chick-fil-A and McDonald's in particular, you remember about 15 years ago, maybe even 10, there were playgrounds, different things like that. Felt like more interactive for kids. You walk into those restaurants now, it looks like the restaurant literally grew up.
Continue, I'm listening.
Sorry. It looks like the restaurant grew up and became an adult, so to speak. Yeah. So you're seeing, obviously no playground, no interactive space for kids. You're starting to see it more higher tech. They got the screens and stuff.
Well, it's like here, something I didn't look up that I can try to look up real fast while we're here. Since we're on the light topic of this, like the kid stuff right now. Let's go to images here. This is the original style of this like peg game. And have you ever played it before?
Maybe messing around with.
Well, okay, it's very simple. It's just these pegs. There's all but one left. You have to jump the other peg, so like you can move this red up here into the top. Like, and your goal is to only have one left at the end. Well, this is like an old fashioned like whatsoever, like type game here, I'm not seeing like the new design anywhere, but the whole point of this was just like you said, something to do or whatever while you're waiting on your stuff. Well, maybe I did see it. Well, let me.
I think with the
maybe
search you put in, it's confusing it. You may just have to look up just the new version of it.
Yeah, I was. I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. There is a look though. I should have probably pulled this up before, but oh well. It's something we'll just have to kind of figure out. And here's like one of your older style ones too. You see how that is? Those are railroad spikes. If you didn't know what those are, but like I said, that's given that old rustic type theme, and. If we go back like that, this sort of like little wood slab look stuff looks about right. But anyway, so this is your interior design. Do you have any comments you want to put?
I mean,
before we move on,
nothing really. I don't really hardly eat at Cracker Barrel, so
okay.
It's not too big. Do it to me.
Well, see, because I went there growing up and all that, but it wasn't my favorite. But I do get where a bunch of people are coming from, because it is a big family deal type restaurant here.
Now, what I will say, though, are there bigger problems in the world to be arguing about? Oh, for sure. But this isn't like the worst thing we could happen. Here's their Instagram statement. Yeah,
here is the Instagram statement that they put out, because this was a drastic problem, because whenever they actually did this, because they did the like text-only logo instead of with the other stuff in it, and they're pushing this all the more campaign, and they like refresh the interiors and stuff like that. Well, 12% of their stock had dropped, and they had like a big viral backlash over the loss.
About over 100 million lost. Just a lot of profit gone down in just a day, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sure like even if I come here and just go like Cracker Barrel reactions.
Yeah, go to all or news.
And like videos or something. Matter of fact, so we get more like actual content creators here. Of course, one time I do it, there's like
nothing relevant.
No
whatsoever.
TikTok video. Here's hashtag Cracker Barrel right here. Let's see what we got. So you got stuff like this being made.
From Cracker Barrel, the food literally tasted better.
Hold on, let me make sure we got our audio going here. I'm pretty sure we do, but
I'm not supposed to be there.
It was like an adrenaline rush, bruh. You can't do this to us. Like, how are you gonna remove the cracker and the barrel from the logo and then change the inside from looking like a
Klansman operation room
to a safe space? We do not need this. Like, dude, this is like redesigning Waffle House, but with bulletproof windows. If you don't feel like you're in danger, you know it's not legit. Like, bro, when we said we wanted racism out of the United States, we were not talking about Cracker Barrel, bruh. It is their substance.
Their secret Krabby Patty formula.
So what
anyways, you get the point of that.
Hey, them motherfucking white
You're
people,
getting stuff like
not
this.
all y'all, but the ones who think y'all just run every motherfucking thing. Y'all think y'all can just tell everybody what the fuck to do. Especially the ones yesterday. Oh, they so motherfucking irate and so mad about motherfucking Cracker Barrel. Yeah, motherfucking Cracker Barrel. Motherfucking Rebrand.
I'm just trying to show off some like different
what
things.
does critical and what's critical say?
Yeah, here's a good
Cracker
game.
Barrel has finally followed suit where they redesigned their logo, and man, did it hit them hard where it hurts the most. Right in their fucking precious nutsack of money. Pretty much overnight, they lost roughly $100 million in value. Their stock took a nosedive into the shitter here. And of course, plenty of people make the argument it's just a logo. This is so overblown and unnecessary. It's not that big of a deal. And I guess I can kind of understand that, but I also understand why so many people are fed up with the enshittification of things. Like, everything seems to like be going in this direction where it gets boiled down to like the same generic sludge, where everything has to be the most bland, sane
right
poop
there,
ass.
Toronto Rap.
Like, it's just
pretty
so
funny,
unnecessary. And there
People
is
have
more
compared
to it.
this
It's
to
not just the
the,
logo. They are like redoing
You know,
the
the
menu.
Pixies
They're
and Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah.
How they
redoing
kind of took
the
over and everything
restaurants
kind
as
of got
well.
very just great.
The idea is they
That's why
want to
everyone's
make
kinda
it
comparing
the
this
Cracker
stuff
Barrel
to.
of today and
But
tomorrow
this
is the
isn't the
verbiage that the
first of
CEO
this
used.
you're gonna see.
Yeah,
She actually
see
went
like
and
see
did
like
it.
this because we didn't really mention that. They're wanting to make it like the Cracker Barrel of today and tomorrow. So they're wanting to like focus on the future instead of giving this like old time past view. Instead, they're trying to like bring it forward. So I mean that's
Interview
some
with
of the
Good Morning
different
America,
things.
where she affirms that Cracker
this
Barrel
right
is
here.
really happy with how everything's going,
Let's
and
get back to
that the response has actually been overwhelmingly positive. I don't know if they're just filter feeding her like 5 like tweets on Twitter that are like,
See, like here's the stock graphic too. So that's actually pretty like just as a visual aid there. But we can get back to their statement because you guys get the gist of it now. This is what they posted. Promised our guest. If the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. Wow, we're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who will always be. What has not changed and will never change are the values of this company. Was built on when Cracker Barrel first opened in 1969. Hard work, family, scratch cooked food made with care. A place where everyone feels at home no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Cracker Barrel you'll always find. Come on now. There we go. The things people love most about our stores aren't going anywhere. Rocking chairs on the porch, a warm fire in the heart, peg games on the table, unique treasures in our gift shop, and vintage Americana with antiques pulled straight from our warehouse in Lebanon, Tennessee. God, I can't read today. We love seeing how much you care about our old timer. We love them too. Uncle Herschel will still be on our menu. Welcome back, Uncle Herschel's favorite breakfast platter on our road signs and featured in our country store. He's not going anywhere. He's family. While our logo and remodels may be making headlines, our bigger focus is still right where it belongs, in the kitchen on your plate, serving generous portions of the food you crave at fair prices and doing it with the kind of country hospitality that brightens your days and creates lasting memories. Meatloaf, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak, sides that taste like a Sunday supper, and yes, the world's best pancakes. They're all still here with a few new dishes joining the menu. Whether you're a long-time fan or first-time guest, we want you to feel at home around our tables. I think we get the gist of what's happening here. They also want to be sure Cracker Barrel is here for the next generation of families, just as it's been here for you. That means showing up on new platforms and in new ways, but also with our heritage at heart. Here, can you do that last one? I got to blow up my nose real quick. If you wouldn't mind, please, sir. Would you read that real quick? Would you do the fucking... Read the damn thing.
We take the that responsibility very seriously. We know.
Keep reading.
We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we will keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees. At the end of the day, our promise is simple. You will always find comfort, community, and country hospitality here at Cracker Barrel. Uncle Herschel wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Thank you for caring so much, and come to see for yourself the country hospitality that makes Cracker Barrel feel like home. Love, Cracker Barrel. So,
But they put that out, but they have yet to change anything. So they basically said, we're right, you're wrong. This is how we feel about the matter. You know? So it's like they didn't say they were going to change anything. They didn't say they were going to correct the mistakes that they did make, how they're going to do it. But I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Because it's, I mean, like I said, it's just how it's going to go. Like, this is the type of stuff they've been posting. So, I mean, we'll just see. But there is that. Donald Trump actually got involved today, where his tweet or whatever on his Truth social put out, Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate poll, and manage the company better than ever before. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. Remember, in just a short period of time, I made the country of America the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, it was dead. Good luck. So, I mean, you know, it's a kind of a big deal whenever the president of any country, and especially like any place or something happens in a country, that the president of that country involves himself in it. Like this here.
on one hand, you could be involving it for good intentions, and then on the other, you know, you got other,
well, I mean,
let's say, allegations and stuff around that you obviously want to deflect as much as possible. So,
well, I mean, I think it was. I think he was just more so encouraging them, because you got to remember, Trump is a businessman too. So,
but
it's
ultimately,
like he's trying
here's
to
my thing,
ultimately speak to the CEO of that company and say, "Hey,
think about
here's your
this,
chance. Don't squander."
Now listen to this.
Yeah.
Yes, not before this rebrand came out a week ago. Was August 18th or even at the top of August, were you even thinking about Cracker Barrel? No. Nobody thought about Cracker Barrel. In fact, no one really gave a crap. I can see the whole, where you say right there? You know, use the free publicity. But the thing is, Cracker Barrel, my point is that they're not really meant to go public. It's like either you know them or you don't. And they kind of kept for who they are. So I feel like when you have a brand you want to grow, but you're always basing it on the past, how much further can you go back to actually rebrand yourself so you can see why they tried to step over, like you said, into the future? Well, but I mean, it just didn't get received well to the audience is ultimately what happened.
Well, I mean, you can go a little bit further in, but the thing
there's only
is
so much they can do.
I would have went more for the, like I said, the junker type deal, where you take these antique stuff, because you got to realize time is passing by, and as time passes by, some of the stuff from our childhood are actually starting to become antiques, and people don't realize that. Mm-hmm. Because anytime you think of antiques, you're like, oh, that's like my grandma's stuff or my great-grandma's stuff, stuff like that. They don't think about their parents. The stuff they had when they were a child are antiques now. I mean, your old, like people talk about your old school, really old, like landline phones. They're pretty much antiques now.
And speaking of that, it'd be pretty interesting. What about the cell phones of today? I wonder how antique they would be looked compared to what we have. That'd be pretty interesting.
Well, it's like even like the old Nokia phones and stuff like that. People talk about all the time the bricks they used to carry in their pockets. Well, they're antiques now.
Yeah,
they're a rare item. They're antiques, and people go, "Oh no, that's just an old phone." No, it's antique now. It's when time passes by, the more and more stuff becomes antique. And it's like, if you take those little items and start to incorporate them in your store as time goes by, I think that would have been a little bit smarter of a move. And you could have just said, hey, we're not going to completely remodel. Instead, we're going to add to our current model that we have maybe take away a couple things, but we're going to try to keep this kind of look going because, some people are saying if it's not broke, don't fix it. Because, I don't think Cracker Barrel's hurting too bad to the point to where they absolutely need this rebrand. If they don't get a good rebrand and they're going down, they're all shutting down.
Filing for bankruptcy, something crazy.
Yeah, not like a Hooters situation like Hooters was having. Now, with Hooters, I feel like because of Hooters happened, this happened. I feel like the CEOs of some of these older companies and stuff are like, oh, well, we don't want to be the next Hooters. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to combat this little feeling that they've got the market, the current way the market is, and they're like, how do we stay enough relevant where we can continue making money? Because I feel like some of these places push too hard to try to be relevant. Mm-hmm. And in a way, almost this is it. Because the number one way to get attention and to gain traction from media and stuff like that, the number one way to get attention from media and stuff like that is from controversy. And I would say this is pretty big controversy right now, wouldn't you say? Because it's splitting people's opinions.
It's big, but I feel like making it just a little bit bigger than what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Not the craziest thing ever done.
Yeah.
Not going to be the last rebrand either.
Yeah, and it's this could have been a thing where a lot of people were just overwhelmingly, I really don't care that much, but it's kind of stupid for them because I like the old version. But then you get bots involved. Oh, yeah. Like all these social media bots that go in, they're like, oh, this is the greatest rebrand I've ever seen. And then people go, no, it was awful. I hate it. And people go, no, it's all right. You guys are making a big deal out of this. Stuff like that happens. So, yeah. But I think we talked enough on, the whole Cracker Barrel deal we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and start closing out some of these. And I will go ahead and let Elijah turn us over to our next topic here.
Alright, so hopefully you not get copyrighted for these websites. We'll try to link all these.
Yeah, we'll link all these MSN articles below.
So, as you can see, recently there's been a wave of, oh god, I don't know what's going on. You see why I didn't want to talk, bro?
Well, yeah, you could have kept reading.
Yeah, until I got to the good part, and then he
blowing my nose, man. You could have kept reading.
And he's some
allergies. Could have covered it up with your voice.
Yeah, by screaming louder. Yeah,
Keep
sure.
going.
All right. Anyways, bro. South Carolina confirmed swatting hoax. Arkansas, Villanova. So as you can tell, there have been a recent amount of hoaxes about someone saying they're going to harm the school. This happened in South Carolina, Arkansas, as you've seen, Villanova, Chattanooga.
Yep.
I think somewhere in northern Arizona it happened. So it's basically just going all around. And I kind of just wanted to...
Are they? Do you know if they're kind of if they're saying these are more so connected? Or are they, how are they saying? Do you know?
Right now, they're treating them as separate because they're happening so far apart.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of trend behind this or group. But once again, they're so far apart because I just listed places from South Carolina. Villanova somewhere in, Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah.
Arkansas, where that is. Northern Arizona, that's in Arizona. Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's really just shotgunning all over the United States. So... you don't necessarily know if it's just one person behind this or a small group or people following a trend doing this.
Yeah.
So as you can see by this article, Sunday's active threat at South Carolina campus would end up being a swatting hoax. And then she had people speaking out. This student right here, you're really powerless. Definitely powerless to be sitting there and barricaded and you have no idea where your friends are and you have no idea what's going on. So,
in a way, these could be connected, and then because they're trying to popularize it. Because a lot of things that go with this is, if somebody was planning something against one of these places, the best thing you can do is cause confusion like this. Is keep on keep on calling, until, hey, we keep getting a lot of hoax. It's just a hoax. It's a hoax. Don't worry about it. Let's wait until it's more credible. And then security, instead of gets tighter and becomes more of a stranglehold on it, it actually reduces, because they're like, oh, it's a hoax. It's another one of them stupid hoax. We're not even going to pay any attention to it. And then it happens. See, because they want to lighten it all up, like it's not a big deal. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you can see right here in the article too, including the footage of a USC student carrying an umbrella mistaken as a weapon, authorities said that student had no role in the incident, so that video is kind of going around. And then, like I said, if I go over this article, reported active threat at Villanova University, a cruel hoax, officials say. So you kind of get the same deal here. Active threat going around the law school, 4:30 p.m. Police from Delaware County, Pennsylvania State. Okay. At least I was right where it was at.
Yeah.
Here's a quote from police. There's a call that came in around 4:30 to law enforcement and 911 center saying there was an active threat in the building, in the law school building, that there was a victim, at least one victim, who was wounded. Delaware County District Attorney Jack Steimer, probably should have practiced his name first, that has turned out not to be true. There's never an active threat on campus. So you're kind of getting right here a lot of people are just bringing up false alarms, and it's pretty damaging because, like you said earlier, if there were to be a legit case like the Florida State situation happens again, or something happens, I think at Virginia, one of those campuses, you never know to actually take the problem serious.
And the other thing that we've got to realize now too is with these big groups of people and stuff, it's becoming more and more of a bigger target for different groups, like terror groups and stuff, because you're hearing a lot about these different incidents. And what worries me is seeing stuff like this when it comes out, where you're getting more and more and more and more hoax, almost like as if they're targeted towards some of your bigger schools, so that they're like, oh, it's a hoax, this is a hoax, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like to me that's a move from a bigger organization, because the people who we've seen in the past do it are people who are,
wow, look at that list,
like marking targets per se. They have one goal and one goal only. They're sick in the head and they're having personal problems, stuff like that. They go in there with the whole feeling of, when I go in, I'm not coming back out. Their only goal is to get as many people as they possibly can. So when you have different things like this going on, it's it's really hard to, I'm kind of at a loss of words. It's hard to explain. But working in a school myself, it puts you on edge a little bit, because you don't really know whether or not you need to be more worried or less worried about certain situations. Because at a lot of these schools, your new motto, and I believe all schools should have this motto, is it's not if it happens, it's when it's going to happen. Because the way the trend is, especially if you're on the East Coast, if you look at the map for most likely schools that, according to statistics and all, where stuff like this is going to happen, you'll see big just red circles on the map. And I'm pretty sure you can look this up. And I probably should have looked this up, but you can see just big circles of red where most likely shootings are going to happen. And right here on this whole East Coast right here, going up the line from Georgia to North Carolina, and maybe even further, you'll see a bunch of red circles where it's most likely going to happen. I don't know, what do you think about, just in general about all this?
So all this really is just probably just a string of people trying to cause problems. And like looking right here, it says since students return to college campuses for the fall semester, at least 10 schools have received an active threat. So you can see the list down here. Colorado, looks like an LSU satellite campus. Iowa State, Kansas State, University of New Hampshire, Northern Arizona, we talked about that earlier. University of South Carolina, Tennessee at Chattanooga, and Villanova. But the crazy part is that no, shots fired, which obviously is a good thing because you don't want to just read about, some family having to go through their child, being dead at school.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you get so much fake reports, you don't know what's necessarily real, and you don't know who's going to be the situation that actually turns out to be true. You don't want it to be your son, daughter, or cousin, whoever.
And sometimes these are played as just like jokes too, because like with the swatting hoaxes and stuff, it's like when people would get YouTubers and stuff like that and live streamers swatted on camera. It was just the deal of, number one, the attention, number two, the drama that gets caused after all of it, and number three, it's just like people like to have that chaos going on. They like the I did that, and they think it's a joke, and then when it actually comes to fruition, it's no longer a joke. It's, I didn't mean to do that. I was just playing. It was a mistake, So it's like stuff like certain stuff should not be joked about, and this is one of them where it's like, hey, or let me rephrase that. Certain stuff like this should not be like treated as a joke. Not necessarily like shouldn't be joked about, but like should be treated as a joke, as in like, I don't know. You understand what I'm trying to say here, don't you?
Yeah, you kind of repeat yourself.
I'm trying to hold it together. I'm a little congested, so.
But one of the biggest things too, and I know even though nothing didn't happen, but just to keep people safe and stuff like that, it's obvious. Now I know people are gonna have their takes about certain firearm rules and stuff. Obviously, I feel like some people may not. Bro, come on.
Keep going.
Some people may not need to be carrying crazy, assault style weapons because those are military grade. If you're carrying handhelds and different combats, I don't think that's really that much of a problem if you're a registered to have a weapon. But clearly, you have to just watch out for certain gun laws and all that, and then really just who's getting the weapons and just doing better background checks, because I just feel like, in my opinion, there's just no way that every single last one of these people fit the same description. They're in their mid-30s or 20s or whatever. They all have mental health issues, and it's been dragging on the last 10, 15 years, but no one apparently noticed, and then it finally blew off. So I just feel like, other than, these hoaxes, people just need to be safe, aware of what's going on, and that's really all I got to say. But
So yeah, and they've concluded so far that they cannot find a connection between all of them, correct?
I'm reading this, and it says, after the false alarm at Northern Arizona on Monday, the school said in a statement, the investigation into the false report was underway with the FBI. Bureau was aware of many of the reported incidents with help investigations. So they're continuing to work. They don't know yet.
And if it is some sort of group, too, that's causing a lot of this, in order to prepare for one, if something like that does not get caught, I consider that a huge information failure. That should, stuff like this should be main focus attacks on, on the home front. When it's all the way down to just straight up civilian stuff, it's hard to pinpoint that, but when it comes to your bigger groups, But yeah, I don't really have nothing else. Do you have anything else?
I've already said what I had to. Just wanted to shed some light on it because it's been happening recently, and it's kind of chaotic. A lot of these people started school literally a week ago, and you're already on lockdown,
Yeah.
You should be enjoying yourself, either hanging out with friends on the weekend, studying, not hiding in a dorm or under a bed, making sure you're not going to lose your life over something senseless.
I would also like to apologize. I'm kind of congested today, so I've been all over the place. But if that's everything, then I'm going to go ahead and end this here. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode here. We're trying to get back into the groove of things. And
I do apologize that this one was not as professional, because the typical setup we had, I was away, hours away,
Yeah.
and we basically did like a Discord Zoom.
Yeah, we
kinda
had
style.
everything set up, and then when it comes to me as well, I had a house fire and stuff, so I lost a lot of my equipment, everything else I was using, so it's
Same.
primarily in person now. So we're just trying to get everything done. Just bear with us, guys, but we appreciate you all for stopping by. I think that's all I got. You got any just last comment remarks real
Yeah,
quick?
that's it. Just getting back to a better setup that we can do, so we can kind of not have to squeeze in on the camera, kind of be able to have our own kind of space, be able to talk.
Yeah.
And obviously, with these articles, we didn't do any kind of research. It's kind of off the dome, whatever we saw and whatever our thoughts were. And I feel like it'd be better to get back to that format. But otherwise, I feel like today was a pretty solid episode, but we're definitely trying to get back into the rhythm and the feel of things. But once again, y'all can check out our YouTube channel right here, Better Days Podcast, Instagram, same name. So won't have any hard time difficulty finding stuff there. We have sports posts coming out, little semi-political topics. You see how we talked about something that was controversial, but not everything has to be like a deep about a politician or something.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of
It's
everything.
mainly just a little bit of randomness from us every week, but yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, if you like this, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more of us, subscribe, whatever. Hit notifications.
Yeah, comment
However
down
you wanna
below
do it. Yeah.
what topics you want to hear about, and maybe just
Yeah,
what your
and
thoughts
that-
on the video too. We want to
Yeah.
just hear some engagement from people.
Yeah, that helps out a lot if you just leave a comment, stuff like that, stuff you might want to see, stuff you want to see us talk about, any like questions, anything like that for us, sports related, anything. I mean, just shoot away. But yeah, appreciate you all. We're gonna go ahead and end this here, and we will see you guys in the next one.